Hey guys, welcome to lesson 12 and 13. 12 is about an equation of a line and 13 is about substitution and the area of an isosceles triangle, which is not hard, okay? But the equation of a line sometimes can get a little complicated, right? So I am going to take some time to teach you both methods that we're going to use for the y equals mx plus b, okay? In case you guys don't feel confident in all this. But when we're talking about the equation of a line, we're mostly talking about y equals mx plus b, which I'll explain to you in a second. That's when you have like a slanted line going through your y and your x-axis, right? Sometimes if the line is just going through the x-axis in a straight line, it's just going to be x equals something. That's going to be the equation of your line. If you see the line going through the y-axis, that's going to be y equals something, and that'll be the equation of your line. But most of the time, you're going to see y equals mx plus b. There's one very, very secure way to do y equals mx plus b, and then there's an introduction way so you can see what is going on behind the scenes. And it is important for you to do and know, but it's not important for you to apply every time because it has too much room for error, okay? But it is good to teach it to you so you understand what's going on behind the scenes. So let's look at example 1. It says, write the equations of line A, line B, and line C. Okay, unfortunately, I can't just draw all this on the board. But if you look at line A, it's going a straight line through an x-axis, okay? Because remember, this is your x-axis, it says it in your book, and this is your y-axis. So even though it looks like a y-axis, look what it's going through. It's going through your x-axis. At what point does it hit your x-axis? At a -3. Do you guys see that? You see the -2, you see the -4, the line in between must be -3, right? So A is x equals a -3. That's all it is. If you saw that equation, you know that you would go to the x-axis and go on to -3 here and put a line. Okay? Look at letter B. Sorry about that. Letter B looks like an x-axis, but it goes right through the y-axis, right? At what point does it go through the y-axis? At a -4, because it's between -3 and -5. So the equation for your line is y equals -4. Okay? Now we're going to go to letter C. Letter C is a slanted diagonal line, so we know we're going to use y equals mx plus b. Okay. What is y equals mx plus b? The y and the x are part of your equation. They're not going to be a number. You're not going to substitute them, etc., etc. They are your equation. So you're going to write y. Okay. Let's go over to b. What is b? B is the point that the line hits the y-axis. It's called the y-intercept. Okay, say that, y-intercept. Look over here. Your y-intercept on this one is right there. It hit the y-axis right there. Okay, we don't know what right there is, but we'll find it in this one. So go ahead and show find where did this line hit the y-axis? At a 3, right? At the 3. Look at 1, 2. It's between the 2 and the 4 where it hits, so that's 3. So we already know that this number right here is 3. And we know that this is x. Now we're only looking for this. That's your m. M is slope, okay? Slope is rise over run. What is that all about? That's your y's over your x's, okay? And we'll go through the equation in a second. But for right now, all you need to know is rise. How much should it go up and how much does it go over, okay? Let me see if I can show you this on the book. What you have to do is you have to find one more point on the line, okay? You found the point that it hits the y-axis at the 3. Now find another point on the line that hits exactly where those squares intersect, okay? Not in between the squares. You see how this is in between squares, this is in between squares, but look at this point right here. It hits exactly where the lines cross for the squares, right? Okay, so that means to find your slope, you can do it like this. You go up 1 over 3. 1, 2, 3 to get to that next point. Look at it again. Start from the y-intercept, go up 1 over 3. 1, 2, 3 to get to your next point on the line, right? If you can do that, up 1 over 3. That's your rise and your run. Up 1 over 3. And that's your equation. Y equals 1/3 x plus 3. Okay? The problem with that one is, oh, so many things. Because sometimes you're not going to be able to find a point like that. Or sometimes they need to tell you the point like that. And it's not going to be very obvious on the graph, right? So I'm going to teach you another way, which the book will teach you later, but it's good for you to know. Okay? So let me show this to you. The equation, the formula for slope is m equals y minus y over x minus x. Okay? Y minus y over x minus x. Let's prove our point. Give me the points for where it hit the y-intercept. Well, that's obviously going to be what? I'm going to put it over here. It's going to be 0, because you can go anywhere on the x-axis, and positive 3. Okay? 0 and positive 3. That's the point that this line hit the y-axis. 0, positive 3. Okay, now give me the coordinates for this point right here, the point that's between the square. It's going to be over 3 on your x-axis, and then up 1, 2, 3, 4. 4, right? So it's going to be 3, 4. Okay, we're going to see if we get 1/3 as the slope again. You're going to go y minus y over x minus x. So I'm going to go 4 minus 3 is 1, and then 3 minus 0 is 3. And that's your slope. You could go the other way. You can go 3 minus 4, y minus y that way, this y minus this y. That's going to be 3 minus 4 is negative 1, and 0 minus 3 is negative 3, which is still going to equal a 1/3. So whatever method you want to do to find your slope right now is acceptable. You can do up 1 over 3, or you can use your 2 coordinates and use your slope equation. If you're like, no, Miss Jessica, that's like 3 steps more. Okay, for right now, don't do it that way. That's fine. Just count it on the graph. Okay, let's do example. Oh no, let's do the practice. Cool, that's all you need to know for this lesson. Okay, do the practice and I'll show you the answer, but don't go too far because remember we also have less than 13. So here we go. The answers for your practice is A is y equals negative 5, okay, because it crosses the y-axis at negative 5 and is a straight line. And then B is y equals negative 1/2 x minus 1. Why? Is it like that? Okay, really quickly, I'm going to show you both ways. Y equals, now it crosses the y-axis at negative 1. Do you see that? Okay, the next point that I picked, where it crosses very evenly, is right there on the x-axis at that negative 2, right? So I go up 1 over 2 to the left. Okay, that's negative. Up 1 over negative 2 x. So that's negative 1/2 x minus 1. The other way to do it would be y minus y equals x minus x. Okay, the very first one is 0, negative 1. And the other point would be negative 2, 0. Okay, you go 0 minus negative 1 is positive 1. Negative 2 minus 0 is negative 2. So there's your slope still. Okay, let's do lesson 13.